In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to build Django fixtures to preload data into your Django project. So I'm going to create a new project, call it Django Fixtures, open it up in VS Code, create our virtual environment. Whoa, okay, that was weird. Pip env shell, pip install Django. Now I'm going to create my project, Django admin start project, config in the current directory, and I'm going to say pi manage.py start app and call it blog. So now that we have everything set up, let's go to our settings, add our blog app. Oops. Blog. In our blog, we're going to create a model. So we're just going to create one called class blog post. And this class is going to have a title. Oops, boom, and max length. There we go. All right, and a body. So body, text field, and nothing inside of there. Give it a string method. Like so. Let's give it a simple view. Return render request. Home.html. And we're also going to pass in our blog post. So from.models import blog post. Run this, or let's see. So context equals posts will be equal to blog post.objects.all. Add the context here. Let's create our template. Home.html. Go like this. And we're going to say for post in posts. Let's see, li, make a ul tag here. We're going to say post.title, p post.body, like that. Put this in a unordered list. Whoops. Like so. And let's see, after this, let's format our file. And now we should be able to run, oh wait, yeah, let's connect this via the URLs. So actually we'll do it pretty basic. So we're just gonna say here, from blog import views. And then we're gonna say path to nowhere, views.home. Name equals home. And that should be it. So let's run pi manage.py run server. All right, yeah, let's make migrations. Oh, whoops, wrong button. Oh, blog models, blog post doesn't declare an explicit app label. Did I not edit? Blog. Oh, I didn't save. There we go. All right, make migrations and migrate. All right, so now if we run our server, like so, open it. And now we have all posts in our web pages up. Now, we need to actually add a blog post. So instead of doing it how I've done before via the Django admin, we're going to add our own fixture. So in order to add a fixture, a simple way to do this is to create a folder called fixtures. And yeah, I think it only needs a folder, and then we're just going to create a file, a JSON file. So it's going to be, I don't know, blog.json, something like that. So now that we have it, here's what we're going to do. So we're using JSON, which is it can be similar to Python. So essentially, we're creating a Python list or a JavaScript array, opening that up, and then we're going to fill it with Python dictionaries or JavaScript objects. So these need to have a few parameters. One is the model, or let's see. So it needs to be JSON. So these need to be surrounded by strings. And so the model is going to be the actual model that you're working with. So we're going to say blog.blog post like that. Each one of them needs to have a primary key. So we're going to say the first one has a primary key of 1, and then we're going to create another attribute called fields. And this is going to be another array or Python list. And here we actually just write the field names. So we're going to say title can be my first blog post. Oh, right. And this actually needs to be an, oh, right. Yeah, this I think needs to be a dictionary, not an array, or an object, not an array. So we're going to have our title and we're going to have our body. And yeah, we're going to call this my first blog post. This is the best blog ever. So you use fixtures in order to add, in order to preload data into your project or into your application. So let's see. Yeah, we have this, and that looks right so far for our model. So let's add our second one. And this one should not have a comma at the end because it's going to be our last. So we're going to say, make that number 2. And my first blog post is going to be my second one, of course. Do you know D-Way? That is our second blog post. Whoops. There we go. All right. And now that we have this, we'll create another terminal, log into our virtual environment. And then what we can say is Python manage.py load data. And then we can just say the name of our JSON file. So as long as it's in this fixtures directory inside of our app. So we're going to say load data blog, and boom, installed 2 objects from 1 fixture. And if we look back at our project or at our server and we refresh, yeah, so now we actually have our data. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. Like you might see the only difference between this and just adding like a dictionary that has like title, PK, and body is that here all of your fields actually go in its own in this this fields attribute of this whole object. So that's why it's called a fixture. It has this model, PK, and then fields. And also, well, no, that's actually pretty much it. So it's just an array of these objects that are your Python stuff. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward, and it was pretty scary for me for a while. But sorry, it was pretty scary for me for a while. But then I just looked at it again, and one day I was like, okay, that's not that hard to do. It's just weird because you have to define your model with. So you have to say the app name and then the model name in this model field, and then your PK. So it needs to have a primary key in order for it to know where it belongs in the database. And yeah, this can be useful here, and it can also be useful if you have like, I don't know, let's say you have different platforms that you want to use on your website, like Instagram or Twitch or whatever, and you can just add them here if you know you're always going to need this data. So yeah, there are some use cases for it. And especially if you're dumping data, that can also be useful. And now that I mentioned that, let me just show you how to do that as a bonus. So we're going to say manage.py dump data now that we have some data in our database. And we're just only going to dump the data from our blog. So if we want to update our fixtures, which it wouldn't change in this case, so I'll just put it in a file in our main directory right next to manage.py. So manage.py dump data. I'm going to name the app blog, or like that's the name of the app that I'm getting the data from. And I'm going to say, put that into data.json. So if you didn't see that, that's because I should scoot this over more there and say, boom, greater than symbol, and then data.json, and that will put it into a text file. So that came right here. Oh, wait, no, that came here. So if we organize this, Yeah, so it ends up being the same data, but if you had more models in your app, oh, also they actually used lowercase, but as we can see, uppercase also works if you want to match your model. So yeah, it looks like both of those work, and it is built the exact same way. So that is the whole video for today. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I will answer them. So that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.